Hey guys, it's Rob back with another movie review. I'm going to talk about a children's fairy tale book come to life into a horror movie. Really a good film. I couldn't believe how good it was. I mean, honestly, this was recommended to me from Cool Duder, Sean, a long time ago, and I saw it and I'm like, this is fantastic. I mean, I loved it. Some of these independent films, these low budget films that don't make it to theater or anything, they're just on the shelf. A lot of them can be really good. I mean, give them a chance. Honestly, some of these don't have, some of them don't get noticed, and I kind of hate that because people who like this movie, they put their heart and soul into this movie. It's fantastic. And I think the writer, who was the writer to this? Screenplay by Jose Prendez, I think that's how it is, how you say it. Jose, I'm pretty sure this is the same kid who is in Wet Movie 1, Brendan. Wet Movie 1 on YouTube. The Jose who hangs out with Brendan, I think that's Jose that did the screenplay for this movie. And it is Hansel and Gretel. I could be wrong about that, but I think when you see him in the behind the scenes of this, it looks like Jose from Wet Movie 1's channel. Anyway, it's Hansel and Gretel, the famous children's book about the witch who has a gingerbread house, and Hansel and Gretel, she invites them in and feeds them shit like cookies and all these sweets, and then tries to kill them by throwing them in the oven and eating them. So they made a horror movie out of this, and this is nothing. This is way better than Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. That was more of an action movie. This is a fucking horror movie right here, and it also stars Dee Wallace. Now you remember her, mom from E.T. She was in Lords of Salem. She was in the new Rob Zombie's Halloween. Let's see, what else was she in? I think she was in Cujo. I can't remember if she was in Cujo or not. But anyway, she was fantastic in this film. They almost didn't get her for this because she was busy. But they got her, and she plays the witch in this film, and she does an amazing job. Some of the acting is a little bit overboard in this film. It's just like some of the independent films that the acting is not quite up to par with other theatrical releases. But then again, a lot of theatrical releases nowadays, the acting fucking sucks anyway. It's like they forgot how to act. But this movie is really good. So you got Hansel and Gretel, and Gretel works at this gingerbread store, and it's basically like almost a restaurant / store where you can go in, you can sit down and eat. They make pastries, pies. They got something called meat pies that they make with meat inside of them, like all sorts of candy and all shit. And Gretel works with Dee Wallace. Now, at first, you're meant to think that this lady just makes candy and stuff like that. Well, you later find out that Dee Wallace is actually, she plays the witch. And when the movie keeps going, you get to find out little bitty bits about her years before, like when she became who she is now. And she has two sons. Dee Wallace has two sons, and these Rob Zombie looking motherfuckers. One of them looks like Captain Lou Albino from wrestling, from the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. And the other guy, looks like fucking Danny Trejo, I think. That's what he's I don't know. But they look they look pretty creepy in some ways because they just look like hermits or something. But anyway, she has those two sons, and what those guys do is they kidnap people, basically like teenagers. They keep them down in the basement of this house, and they bring in like trays full of food, and it's mostly sweets like donuts, cookies, candy, cupcakes, anything they can find that's sweet. and people are hungry down there, so they just start shoveling it in. But then what they want to do is get them fat. Sometimes they won't wait until they're fat, so they end up dragging them off, and they put them on this huge platter, and they stick them in this huge oven and just burn them alive, and you can hear them screaming and shit. The gore effects were actually really, really well done in this film. I was very, very surprised about that. But you know, Gretel, she works with this lady. Then she just soon discovers that she's bad and that she's a witch. She goes to her, you know, the witch's house, and the witch's house has fucking pastries and shit. They're like, she has these candies that are supposed to help you, but they're actually filled with like medicine and to knock you out. And that's how she like manipulates people. Like, oh, here, take one of these. This'll cure you. What is it? Oh, it's just something filled with sugar. It looks like a piece of candy, but then when you eat it, it like knocks you out. It's like, this bitch is crazy. Like, look at, she's like, she's tricking people, thinking that it's just candy, but actually it's like date rape drugs or something. But honestly, Hansel, he ends up getting kidnapped in the forest, kind of like the story. He ends up getting kidnapped and put in the basement and with shackles, and there's a whole bunch of people there, and one by one they just start getting taken and thrown in the oven. So the witch, Dee Wallace, she brings, you know, she's in her house with Gretel, and Gretel doesn't know that Hansel's in the basement, and she soon discovers that he is in the basement. So, and by the way, you know, Gretel thinks that Dee Wallace is like this nice lady who runs a restaurant and stuff, and she wants to give Gretel the restaurant when if she like passes away, like in the will. She wants her to take over because Dee Wallace wants her to be like she is. But this was before, you know, this was before she finds out she's a witch and that she's a bad person going and killing everybody, and that she's having people in the basement and stuff. Well, these meat pies are actually made from the people that they kill and burn and eat. That's what the meat pies are made of, flesh and put into a pie, and people are eating them like, oh my god, they're just shoveling it in and you're actually eating somebody. But it was really good. Like, Gretel and Hansel, like, they try to escape and stuff, and they try to kill the two brothers, which are huge. I mean, they're huge guys. They're intimidating guys. And the witch, like, Dee Wallace, she goes crazy in this film. She stabs people with pitchforks and knives, and she shoots arrows into people, and she's fucking nuts. I've never seen Dee Wallace like this. Never. In a role. I've never seen her like that. I mean, that's crazy. She did a really good job being the witch. And there's some creepy moments too, like where they're kind of like in a dream state where Hansel is dreaming like he's got candy and stuff all over, and he's eating it, trying to get it off him. All of a sudden he just starts eating his flesh, pulling out his guts and eating them. He's like, oh, this is delicious. It's because of something the witch gave him, like this candy that makes him kind of hallucinate. I mean, the effects are so well done in this film. I'm not going to give away the ending because something happens to Gretel at the end when she's in the gingerbread store. But the acting was pretty decent. I have to say, in this film, it was pretty decent. But it's a very, very well done film, like I said. I couldn't believe how good it was. I was expecting to just be like, okay, just one of those movies, you know, I got this off the shelf, and it was just straight to DVD or whatever, and, you know, it is what it is. No, I recommend this film. Check it out. Hansel and Gretel from the Brothers Grimm. Definitely check it out. Like I said, better than Witch Hunters. I liked it way better than that. And that one came to theater, I think. But this is definitely like Hansel and Gretel, classic tale turned into a horror movie. Perfect. So that's basically the story of the Hansel and Gretel movie. Trying to escape the witch, you know, after being drugged down in the basement and threatened to be put into the oven and burned alive and eaten. It follows the tale very well. and it even shows a little bit of backstory, like through pictures of the witch, how old she is, where she got her powers and stuff like that. And it's very, they kept it kind of realistic in that way. But it's really good. I actually watched this last night. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed this film. There's some shots of Dee Wallace right there as the witch there, and then Hansel and Gretel. I had a lot of fun with this film. So definitely check this out, Hansel Gretel, and tell me what you think. I mean, honestly, check it out. I'm recommending this to you. Check this movie out and tell me what you think. This is Rob, and thank you for watching this review of Hansel and Gretel from the Brothers Grimm. And check out some more reviews coming up soon, so stay tuned to my channel. And I will see you guys next time.